Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Saturday and welcome back to another weekly home fragrance roundup. I hope you guys had a great week. We're obviously in a different location for today's video. So my husband and my daughter were gone for the last week. They were up in Canada in the Thousand Islands again. So they just got back last night. So the downstairs is, it's a little busy down there today because they were on all their stuff, but it's a mess. So anyway, I decided to go ahead and grab everything and just bring it up here. And also for the focus of this week's chit chat, I kind of just want to talk about what I have been burning and melting that has just like put me in a better mood. So we're going to talk happy candles today. If you are new around here, I do list and link everything that I'm sharing in the description box down below. We'll definitely talk about lamps and Crocs in today's video as well. I'm not going to take you guys on the usual tour. I'm just going to mention it here. But if you don't actually know what a candle crock or a candle lamp is, there is a video in the description box that will explain both of those candle accessories to you. There's also links to Crocs and lamps that I think are really great quality. They are products that I actually own as well. I will put the sale information for, the companies that I tend to frequent. Usually, most of these candle companies have sales every single weekend. They kind of change a little bit from weekend to weekend. So I will update that in the description box as well. There's some discount codes down there for both HomeWorx and Cringle. You can always try applying those when you check out, see if you can save yourself a little bit of money. They work with some sales, but not with all sales. It's always worth just popping it in there, see if you can save yourself a little bit more. But yeah, you guys, without further ado, we're just gonna get into it today. I'm gonna see if I can get away with not having to edit this video at all. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this week, I have still been testing burning all of the Cringle Halloween candles, the fall candles. I have finally been putting up some in-depth reviews of those, and many more are to come. So I've definitely been burning all of that stuff, but I didn't want to bring like every single candle up here. So we're going to kind of focus a little bit more in today's video. What has just really made me happy this week, and I guess just to sum it up, it has been completely switching over to fall candles and going into my backup stash and pulling out some things that just always put me in a good mood. And I have some candles that I am going to be bringing out next week. So I think for the next few weeks, I just really want to kind of focus on like what really makes me happy home fragrance wise. I mean, every candle makes me happy, right? Like I love home fragrance in general, but there's certain scents that just put me in an amazing mood. And for me, it's fall fragrances. You guys, I have fully transitioned to fall, and today is like the most perfect day for me to share this video because it's overcast, it's really gray out. I don't even think we're gonna hit like above 70 degrees, and I cannot tell you how good that is for my little autumn loving heart. Like we're getting there. It's been really hot again this summer, and I'm just not a hot weather person. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna start grabbing some candles and we're gonna start talking. I'm gonna grab the two candles that I have been using underneath my candle lamps. So again, if you're not familiar with lamps, check that video out. And I linked either one or two really great options for candle lamps in the description box as well. So check those out if you're interested. But these are the two that have been under the two lamps that I've been using this week. So this first one here, this really takes me back a few years here on my channel. This is Root Candle Pinot Noir. I really had a phase where I was super into root candles. And the reason that I got into it was because I used to have my own floral design company. I was a florist for over a decade, and the wholesale market that I went to used to carry the root candles at wholesale prices, so that florists could purchase them and then sell them for retail in retail locations if they have them. I didn't have a retail location. I had a like in-home design space. But anyway, I loved the root candles. They were great. I definitely kind of got away from it as the wholesale market actually ended up not offering the root candles anymore. But then I would still occasionally buy from their website. And then, you know, after a couple years of doing that, I just kind of got away from them altogether. But I found this little gem in one of my places that I used to squirrel away candles. I'm still finding candles occasionally, just in different places. If you're new here, I'm on a little bit of a journey of whittling down my candle collection. Not because I'm no longer home fragrance obsessed, I am, but I'm a little bit more obsessed with like having a more manageable collection and having it all in one place so that I'm not like opening a random cabinet and finding, you know, just candles that I squirreled away somewhere because they wouldn't fit anywhere else. So this is Pinot Noir. And these candles burn fine. This is a beeswax formulation. It's a really interesting wax to actually burn because it kind of looks almost like liquid lava when you're melting it. These take a very long time to pool out, and they do tend to do this kind of cracking thing. Can you see that crack on the top there? It almost looks like a little peace sign. But yeah, this wax gets quite hard when it like solidifies again. So it's not soft like soy wax. It is a soft, slightly softer wax, but I would say, what's a super, coconut wax. I feel like coconut wax is quite soft, but this gets a little bit harder. But yeah, I've kind of missed these candles, honestly. So I might hop onto the Root Candle website and just see what they have available. Again, it's been a few years since I've really been into these guys, but this Pinot Noir scent kind of makes me want to go back, because what I think that Root Candle does really well is they have a lot of really authentic fragrances. They don't actually do a ton of gourmands. They do beautiful florals, which is why I think that the market offered a lot of these candles. You know, obviously as a florist, you know, you think flowers, everything needs to be floral. It doesn't, by the way. I am just now, after a few years of not being a florist, I'm starting to get into enjoying florals. For me, flowers remind me of work. Like after more than a decade of, you know, doing weddings, corporate stuff, funerals, like flowers, the smell of flowers, that just equates to work for me. Whereas I think a lot of other people who don't work in this particular industry, when they smell florals, they think, oh, beautiful. You know, they think just loveliness, right? Not me. I think being up until 3, 4 a.m. finishing a wedding order. That's what I think. But now that I'm out of that world, it just gives me an opportunity to actually enjoy florals, and I love that. Florals are lovely. You really are. But anyway, back to this Pinot Noir. I could have burned this. It would have burned just fine. This formulation usually does well. They do tunnel occasionally, and so these I would definitely wrap in tin foil just to get them to even out again. But I decided to lamp this one, so it's at the top of our stairs here. This is a beautiful, I don't even know if they still offer the fragrance, but if they do, if you are looking for a true kind of slightly boozy wine type scent, I would say try this. It kind of reminds me a little bit of California Cab from Cringle, which is in their Reserve line. But if you're looking to try a different company and you want a fragrance that's maybe somewhat similar to California Cab, I would check this out. It's really nice, and when it's melting, honestly, it's a little bit stronger underneath my lamp than it even is if I were to light it. So with this one, I did just light it when it was brand new, so you can see that wick has never been lit. I could actually still probably light this one, and you can see that deep wax. This was all melted underneath my candle lamp. So if you don't think that candle lamps can give you a good solid melt pool, I'm here to tell you, yes, they can. Now you need one of the lamps that has the adjustable arm so you can bring it up or down. based on, you know, how tall your candle is. You typically want that bulb pretty close to the top, but you want a little bit of room for the fragrance to actually escape. So lamps 100% work, and they give you a thick wax pull for sure. You just have to make sure that you have your candle close enough to the bulb, if you will. But love this scent, really am enjoying it. I don't know, I'm not like normally like a boozy wine kind of person, but this one is lovely. I think it's because it kind of smells like a great transitional scent. Yeah, it just reminds me of doing weddings out in wine country when they were, you know, getting close to the harvest. Like, it's a fun vibe. I like this one. So anyway, let me know if you're a fan of root candles. Also, let me know what you were burning and melting this week in the comments down below. I love to see where you guys are at, especially as we get closer to the change of the seasons. I mean, September is like right around the corner. So are you full fall yet? At this point, I've gotten rid of all of my summer candles. I'm over it. I'm done. So this is, do you guys remember this trio? I think it was Harvest Leaves, Autumn Pine Cone, and then what was like a kettle corn scent. Was it called kettle corn? It may have been. Anyway, it was a trio from QVC, from HomeWorx, obviously, back in 2018. Oh my gosh, this is like in the olden days. Now, admittedly, the Autumn Pine Cone, when I first bought the trios, and I purchased multiple trios. I had a lot, quite a few. I gave a lot of these away, and I'm kind of regretting that now, to be perfectly honest, because I've been melting this one, so you can see the wicks are all wonky because I have also been melting this one under the lamp that is in my office downstairs. This is a little bit more of a masculine scent, and I am, you know, noses change over time. I used to not embrace this more masculine type of fragrance, but I don't know if it's my hormones changing or what's going on. I'm almost 46 years old, so got a lot of stuff going on in my body right now. But I'm starting to embrace a lot more fragrances that in the past I would never dream to enjoy in my house. Now, I reviewed the first one that I had long enough, you know, to, well, I burned it long enough to be able to review it. And then I started gifting these out. Again, I purchased multiple sets. I used to be one of those people where when HomeWorx had a TSV, I would order like 8. I would order so many. Or if they had a duo that I was really in love with, I would purchase like 4 or 5 sets. And it just caused my candle collection to explode, quite honestly, which is why this year I've really been working on whittling down my backup stash for HomeWorx. And this was one of those ones where I decided to hold on to at least one just in case, and I'm really glad I did because it is a great scent. I think I actually have one more that came with one of my candle pedestals as well, so, but it has a different label on it. It's from a different year, but this was the first year that Autumn Pine Cone was out, and the notes on this are fallen pine cones, red oak, fresh eucalyptus, and juniper berry. There's definitely, I'm not a huge fan of eucalyptus, but there's definitely some eucalyptus in here, but I feel like there's a little bit more focus on that oak note in here as well as that juniper. And I like juniper a lot right now, so I think that's why I'm kind of drawn to this at this moment in time. But yeah, so I've been melting this in my office, and again, I get a lovely deep wax pool because the lamp that I'm using, I can put right over top, and I actually swing it from side to side, so I'll kind of melt one side of the candle, and then, you know, once that is liquefied and has been liquefied for a few hours, I kind of bump that shade over a little bit, and then I melt this side. So yeah, it's been going great with the lamps, and I'm really enjoying those. So if you're wanting to go flameless, Crocking lamps are the best way to do that. Speaking of, I just took this out of my crock in my master bedroom. It's completely done. So this is what I've been warming in my bedroom. It's the glazed berry scone. There we go, from Country Candle. This is actually new for fall 2024 this year. It's a great blueberry scent. I have already reviewed this one. I've reviewed all of the new country candles that were released for fall 2024 from Cringle. Cringle was kind enough to send those to me in PR. So those are all on my Cringle candle playlist. So if you're curious, check those out. Now this one here, I think this is a lovely, you know, true, I would say blueberry scone type scent, but it's not necessarily super fall to my nose. So I went ahead and decided to burn it to the halfway point, and then I popped it in my crock in the master bedroom. And I think honestly, it was in there for probably either 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember now. But it definitely is, this wax it's completely scentless, which is why I decided to take it out. So when you put your candle in a crock, the one difference from a lamp where you're kind of burn or melting layer by layer, this melts everything all at once, and it really produces a great fragrance output because you're melting all of that wax, and all of those oils are essentially being released all at once. But that being said, I still get at least 2, sometimes 3 weeks out of a half burnt candle. And when I do a full candle, it's easily 3 weeks of like fragrance output. Now, towards the last few days, does it start to like peter out a little bit? Yes. But I think that is a great amount of melting time because guess what? I leave my Crocs on 24/7. Lamps are on a timer. I have all of the lamps that have timers on them. So I'll usually do 2 8-hour melting sessions. But yeah, so that has been in my master bedroom. And in the downstairs laundry room, I decided to put the almond butter cookie, which is also new from Country Candle for fall 2024. Honestly, that one smells a lot better melting than it did burning. I kind of feel like it was an okay scent, but I don't think it was their best. I was hoping that it was gonna smell a little bit like almond croissant from Scentsy. No such luck. The almond just wasn't quite sweet enough. There was a gourmand note, but it wasn't as noticeable as I would have liked it to be, if that makes sense. But anyway, it's doing fine in the candle crock downstairs. I think it's kind of starting to like peter out at this point as well. So I'll probably turn that crock off maybe after the weekend is over, and then we'll find something else to put into my crocks. So that's what I've been crocking and lamping this week. So let's talk what I've been burning. You guys, are you ready to go back to Yankee with me? Look what I pulled out from my backup stash. 2 Yankees. Now these are paraffin. I have to admit, I haven't loved the burn experience with these. I am someone who has really moved away altogether from paraffin candles. I am aware that Yankee now offers some kind of like soy mix formulation. So I am gonna head to my local. I have to drive all the way across town because the store that I had near me closed down several years ago. So, but there have been a couple of people, a couple of content creators, fellow candle peeps here, who have really been pushing me to give Yankee another chance, and I do want to do that this fall. I actually started my home fragrance journey of, you know, like when I started buying candles myself as an 18-year-old. Back in, it was 1997. Like that's when I remember purchasing my very first Yankee candle with my own paycheck, and I went with cranberry chutney. Still to this year, I love cranberry chutney. It's been many, many moons since 1997. I still love that fragrance. But anyway, so you guys will see a Yankee haul at some point in the near future. I just need to like get in my car and drive forever and a day to get there, but it's fine. It'll be fine. I don't want to order online. I'd rather honestly go in store and sniff around, so I just need to make the trip. All right, this is Yankee Candle Tarte to 10, which was actually a European exclusive. I bought this at the Yankee Candle outlet that I also don't think is open anymore in Wilsonville. If there's any Oregonians here, it's not in Wilsonville. Where is it? It's past Wilsonville. Not quite. Where's that outlet? I don't remember where it is. Okay, someone who lives in the area is gonna correct me on this. But anyway, moral of the story is I believe that store has actually closed now. It is like a factory outlet type mall that's just south of Portland here. and they had this European exclusive. In fact, the bottom label looks very different from the US label, so you can really tell like this was something that was not actually intended for the US market. But I was able to find, I think, either 3 or 4 of these. I think this is the best apple scent that Yankee has ever made, and if they brought this fragrance back, I would be very tempted to purchase several. Not in paraffin, because this is paraffin wax. And I really know now why I don't love paraffin. First of all, you can see that the top of this is starting to get kind of schmutzy. I find paraffin to be quite a bit sootier than other candle formulations, but then also I don't think it provides the same fragrance output. I mean, this was fine back in like the 90s and early 2000s for me, but I find better fragrance output from different types of wax at this point. So I started to burn this one this week. I think I'm gonna go ahead and pop it into the candle crock that's in the downstairs laundry room. So you'll probably see me melting this next week, especially since it's starting to get pretty dirty at the top. Now, the pumpkin wreath here, this is something that I purchased. I think I bought 12 of these. When Yankee decided to discontinue this, I love the fragrance so much that I bought like either 12 or 13. I'm still working my way through them. I even gifted several away. And I think I also sold a few on Mercari back in the day as well. I don't sell my candles anymore. If I don't want something, I just gift it to family and friends. I got burned on that app where several people said that they, you know, received broken candles, but then there was never any proof of that. Also, I wrapped them in like 8 layers of bubble wrap. There was no way. People scam like crazy on that app, and I just was not going to be a part of it anymore. So after losing, you know, probably like a couple $100 worth of candles, I was like, I'm done here. So anyway, then I just started gifting out to family and friends, and that makes me feel happy. I love being able to share the joy of home fragrance with those around me. So at any rate, pumpkin wreath. Man, this is great. This is one of those classic, slightly spicy, slightly woody, almost potpourri like fall fragrances, and it's so beautiful. I will say it wants to tunnel like crazy. I think I'm gonna ultimately end up melting the rest of these this fall, to be perfectly honest. So you can see that it is starting to tunnel there. This is another beef that I have with paraffin wax typically, is that it doesn't want to burn super easily all the time. Yes, I could put this in a candle sleeve. Actually, I have had this in a candle sleeve and it's still not correcting. Yes, I could wrap tin foil around it. I could do all of those things, but also I enjoy melting candles. So I think I'm gonna get a better fragrance experience, quite frankly, with this one if I pop it into a candle crock. So I think I might actually put it in here. These are quite potent in crocks. So, but this fragrance just brings me back like a decade or so, and it just makes me happy. Like that's what these two fragrances do for me, is they just bring a smile to my face, and they just help me truly get into that autumnal spirit, which is glorious. All right, let's talk some more HomeWorx here. This is Pumpkin Cold Brew. I have already reviewed this one. You can see, I think I only lit this one once this week, but I really like it. This is an absolutely lovely fragrance. If you come across this one in the wild or you order it from the HomeWorx website, I think it's also available at QVC, and I want to say they're maybe doing free shipping this weekend or something. You can purchase it from QVC as well, but yeah, really great scent. And this in the morning as I'm making my coffee has been just a really lovely addition. So been loving that. Warm and toasty from Cringle. Listen, you guys, I am madly in love with this. It definitely is in the same vein as, I would say, Marshmallow Fireside, but it's a little smokier. Probably, I wouldn't say a ton smokier. It's a little smokier though. There's also there's a sophistication to this one. This one has a true cedar hearth type note, whereas I think the Bath & Body Works version is a little bit more of like a generic hearth type smokiness. And I also think this one has the true toasted marshmallow versus like just the marshmallows in the bag, if you will. This one's toasted. Marshmallow Fireside, to my nose, is like sticking your nose into a bag of fresh marshmallows when they're soft. And don't get me wrong, I love that smell, but there's something about this that smells maybe a little bit more sophisticated to my nose. And yeah, I'm putting together another fall cart from Cringle because honestly, I'm gonna be done with a lot of these Cringle candles that I have been testing, that they were nice enough to send me for the fall release. I'm gonna be done with these before the first day of fall even hits. So, and I wanna enjoy these throughout like September and October as well. So I am allowing myself one backup of each of the fragrances that I've fallen in love with, and I will burn through those this fall and it'll be great. So, but if you haven't tried this one, get it in the wax melts first if you're a little bit nervous about that cedar smoky note that's in here, but I'm telling you, it is delightful. So yeah, love it. Okay, let's stick with Cringle for a second. Another fragrance that I just have absolutely adored is this Bourbon Apple and Oud. Ooh, you guys, this is a different kind of apple for me. This has a lot of woodiness in it. It has a lot of that oud note for sure. The oud I didn't smell quite as much until I lit it, but man, burning, it's there. So I did have some of you say that if it was heavy on the oud that you probably would stay away from it. And I stand by saying that, like, if you don't like oud, I wouldn't get this one. But if you're looking for a different take on apple, this one is fantastic. I don't smell bourbon in here at all. That's one of the notes. This is really a sweet, think like Macintosh Honeycrisp apple type of apple note, combined with tonka, with amber, and that gorgeous oud. It is delightful. It also burns like a champ. The Cringle soy formula, it really truly is, you guys, my favorite formula to burn because it's so clean. And the very best performance is definitely in the classic 2-wick jars. Secretly, I do still wish that maybe they would do away with these jars for Country Candle. I don't think they will. I don't want to imply that, but for me, this is a little bit more of like an old-fashioned looking jar. And I understand the homage to the Yankee Candle days, but I don't know, I feel like the candles burn a little bit better in this more, and this is gonna sound dumb because they're both cylindrical, but I do think this little narrowing at the top, I don't know, I don't love it. Again, that's just my opinion. There's a lot of people that love those jars, and for those that love them, I'm pretty sure they're gonna stick around. But personally, I'm excited to continue purchasing the 2 wicks, and at some point when they finally come out, they're 4 wicks. I don't have a release date, I know. Cringle has kind of been teasing this for a while. I still think they are testing to make sure that they have worked out all the bugs. I don't think there's anything worse for a company to rush a release for something and then to have stuff go wrong and then for it to just turn into a mess for them. I'd rather them test, get it right, and then release it versus test, shoot it out, we'll see what happens. We'll fix it along the way. I really would prefer for them to, like, right out the bat, just off the bat. Anyway, I would just prefer for them to get it right. Okay, Vanilla Romance, you guys. I did an in-depth review of this one. Here's the thing, I love it, but, oh wow. Oh, she got a little dirty. I didn't even realize that. Bummer. It's not awful, but you see a little bit of like the discoloration in the wax there. So I think it's time to crock her anyway. I love this scent. I'm gonna put this one specifically in my master bedroom. I found this one burning to be quite light, much lighter than what I normally expect from Bath & Body Works candles. I think the thing that we can all say about Bath & Body Works, you know, is that one, the candles usually go on decent sales. The company, they're not quite as generous with coupons, but they do still send coupons from time to time. So it makes these a price point where I feel like it's not as tough to like swallow the price point when they like futz out on you. This one is definitely futzing out on me. And so I'm gonna put this in a crock. Honestly, it's gonna perform a lot better in a crock for me, and I'm going to get more fragrance output for a longer period of time than if I were to burn it. So I love the scent, and I'm probably, honestly, despite the fact that it's kind of light, I want to see how it performs in the crock. I think it's gonna do better just based off previous experience. But I would totally buy this just to put it in a crock. I love this. And the reason I do is because it shares some similarities with one of my favorites. All right, sorry about that. Turns out my SD card was full. So I reformatted this one prior to filming. So fingers crossed we don't have any more interruptions. Anyway, let's get back to it. So Vanilla Romance reminds me of my beloved Vanilla Woods from the 7 Virtues. I had some people ask me where you can find that particular perfume. I buy it at Sephora. I'll link it down below. But yeah, any fragrance that remotely reminds me of one of my favorite perfumes, I'm automatically gonna basically fall in love with. That's the case with this one. I really enjoy it. I just wish it was stronger so that I could burn it. But again, I think it's gonna do fine in the candle crock. So we're just gonna crock it, it'll be fine. All right, another Bath & Body Works candle that you will hopefully see an in-depth review of tomorrow. I'm gonna see if I can get another burn sesh out of it today so that I can get to the halfway point, is Pumpkin S'mores. Oh, you guys, this is delicious. This is so good. This is one of those gourmands that kind of takes me back to like for some reason, it reminds me of like the 2012, 2013, 14 time frame of Bath & Body Works. I think the candles burned a little bit better back then. They were certainly, I think, a little bit stronger because as much as I love this scent, and I can definitely smell it, the strength and throw is still, again, not what I'm used to with these 3-wick candles. I kind of feel like they're pulling back on the fragrance oils right now, and I would love to see if other people have a similar opinion. Now, it doesn't feel like it's always across the board because there still is the one-off that gives me like a strength of like 8 out of 10 in terms of just the overall strength and even the throw. Like usually a Bath & Body Works can fill a good chunk of the downstairs of my house. This candle would do fine in a room like this. The ceilings here, much lower. Ceilings downstairs, very high, so it can be a little bit harder to fragrance those areas. But yeah, anyway, I really love this scent. I'll do an in-depth review of it for tomorrow if I can get to the halfway point with today's burn. So we'll see. All right, back to HomeWorx. We're kind of skipping around. Sorry. Again, this is just what's been making me happy this week. Praline Pecan. Oh, the nutty goodness of Praline Pecan. I love this one, you guys. Now, I actually love burning this alongside the new Pumpkin Cold Brew. If you have both, please pair them together and enjoy that combination. It is delightful. Oh, it's so good, you guys. This is just that true nutty pecan scent with like the perfect amount of sweetness. It's got a little bit of like a creaminess to it. It is just, it's so well done. I'm pretty sure this one is out right now. Don't quote me on that. I still have like, I think 3 backups of it. So I have enough for this year to get me through the fall, but this will be an immediate repurchase next year when I stock up on fall candles, because by next fall, if fall candles go as well as the summer candles went, specifically with what I was trying to use up from HomeWorx, then I should definitely be at a place next year where I am regularly ordering from, I hate to order from QVC, I hate their shipping, but I'll wait for free shipping weekends, I guess. Or from, you know, HomeWorx.shop, I think it's actually called Slatkin & Co. now. Or if I find them out in the wild, I'll be much more apt to pick them up. But I do still have a number of backup candles that I'm working through for the fall. So, but I will say, Christmas, I don't have very many Christmas candles from HomeWorx at all. So I'm really excited to pick some new things up this year for them. Just trying to be a lot more mindful, maybe a little bit more demure, if you will, about my candle shopping. You know, you don't need to pick up like 7 of one thing, at least for me. If you still are a collector, listen, I was a collector for many, many years. The only reason I'm having this meltdown is because I think I'm having a midlife crisis. Like, opening closets in my house and just seeing things stashed there that don't belong there was starting to stress me out. So anyway, back to it. Harvest hot chocolate. Now, you know what? I think I'm gonna burn this one today. This was sent to me in PR, just as full disclosure. I think I might be able to review this one after today's burn as well. So maybe you'll see an in-depth review of this one tomorrow. If you're a fan of Mexican hot chocolate, you should check out the Harvest hot chocolate from HomeWorx. And I've been getting a really good performance out of this one. I also got a really good performance out of the pumpkin cold brew as well. So are we back in the 2017, 2018 days of HomeWorx in terms of strength and throw? No, but also neither is Bath and Body Works. So I don't know, but better performance out of these newer candles. I am smelling and noticing them a lot more. So I think we're starting to see some improvement again with HomeWorx, which I really appreciate because I love the brand. If there is one thing that Harry does well, it is authentic fragrances. And I think he probably makes the best gourmands on the planet. I just think that that is where Harry really excels. He makes pretty florals. He makes nice fresh scents. The fresh scents are not for me, but a lot of people like them. But I think for me, I think HomeWorx, I think gourmand, and just really making that an amazing fragrance category for them. Like, it sucked me in. That's why I keep going back. So, all right, this one I also need to review. Now, this one, actually my friend Fiona gifted me. I don't know if she bought like a set of 2 on QVC or something. Fiona is Wax and Facts over on Instagram. And fun fact, Fiona and I literally live like, I think 2 miles apart, if it even is 2 miles. We literally live almost next door to each other. It's kind of nuts. And we didn't find that out until we kind of started chit-chatting a little bit more. And she was like, where do you live? I feel like I know where you live. I was like, where do you live? And it turns out she's literally right down the street from me, which is wild. I love it. And anyway, so we'll trade candles back and forth with each other. And she gave me this one. This is the cinnamon vanilla. This is actually out right now. Listen, this is boring. It's so boring, but it's really good. Also, I am at the halfway point with this one, so I'll review this one for you guys maybe early next week. So this is smoked butterscotch latte from Above Average Candle Studio. I love this fragrance. Oh, I really love this fragrance. I actually just received a package from Above Average Candle Co. A couple days ago. I need to do a haul. It's 2 of their new collections, so I'll share those with you. I still need to film my in-depth review of the first round of candles that they sent for me, but I adore this fragrance. I would love this in a large, massive format. Like, I'm talking a 4-wick, I'm talking a 5-wick. Give me more wicks because I want to smell this all over the downstairs of my house. This is absolutely delicious. This is butterscotch done right. It's not overly sweet. It's not cloying. You smell the coffee in here. You smell the creamy, like frothed milk. Perfect amount of sweetness. I love it. Here's the thing with these small candles. These are 1 wicks, right? Like, these are good for a room. These don't scent the downstairs of my house. Would this adequately fill this room? Yes, this would. But the downstairs, unfortunately, I don't get that type of strength and throw from these 1 wicks, and I didn't expect to. I really, truly didn't. But if they ever decide to go larger format, watch out. Like they really, OG, the creator of this brand, has a really amazing nose for fragrance. And I think if she expanded her range, they're gonna be great. So anyway, I will share the in-depth review probably early next week of the 4 candles that she sent me to start with. She sent me 2 from her Halloween collection, 2 from her fall collection. This one here, out of the 4 that she sent me, I'm in love. I love it so much. It's absolutely gorgeous. All right, let's talk a couple of candles that I actually finished this week. There's actually another one that I finished as well. I don't know if I already put it in my empties, but this is one that was underneath my candle lamp. Was it Spiced White Pumpkin? I think it was Spiced White Pumpkin that was in this, either duo or trio, again, that I purchased multiple sets from. No, it was a trio because of the Autumn Pumpkin ones I still have in my closet. This was I think it was a TSV trio. Am I remembering that correctly? It was from a few years ago. What was it? 2020. Oh, 2020, that was, man, that year, that was a rough year. Let's all face it. But anyway, I decided to go ahead and melt these. The Scarlet Woods, you guys, now it's back. It's back. You can get it at QVC, I believe. And with that free shipping, this is delightful. So this is another one of those like woody scents. So Scarlet Red Woods, cardamom, clove bud, and vanilla. If this sounds remotely appealing to you, try it. Try it in the 4-wick that you can get from QVC. I think it might be coming to slackandco.com as well, but I'm not 100% about that. But again, this was one at first where I was like, oh, it's nice. You know, it's great. It's lovely. But now that I'm starting to embrace the woodier scents, I see why people went gaga over this. It's really, really well done. And then the other candle that I finished, oh, Sad Panda, another Voluspa. By the way, I'm getting ready to hit order on another Voluspa order. I kept going back and forth about trying their new, is it Forged Wildberry? There's a new berry fragrance that's out for the fall, but I was talking with Drew, and Drew said he received a sample of it and then he had an issue with his hearth that he recently ordered, and so he sent that back and they're sending him a replacement. But the hearth that he opted for is actually different from the original one that he had. He went with that Wildberry one, but he told me, he was like, I don't think you're gonna like it. It's really heavy on the red currant note, and I don't love red currant. So I keep putting it back in my cart and taking it out and putting it back in. I think I'm just gonna leave it out, and I'm gonna go with the 2 larger vessels that I'm really interested in. So I'm gonna either do a 2 or a 3-wick of one of well, they're like key fall fragrance. They have a pumpkin latte fragrance that I really like, so I'll get a large one of that. And then also I can finally order the Tahitian Vanilla Coconut. It's no longer a Sephora exclusive. They brought it to their website, so I can finally now purchase the hearth of that. So I think I'm gonna do that. But anyway, this here was the Goji Tarocco Orange. I reviewed this one already. It's really lovely. I think a lot of you would actually really kind of like this one as a transitional fragrance as well. It does have an interesting type of, little bit of like a touch of a spiciness, but not in like the super traditional sense. But I love the orange in here. It's kind of a richer, almost more like blood orange type. It is delightful. Definitely worth checking out. And then wax melts. Listen, my warmers were off during the first part of the week. I was a little bit lazy about turning them on, but I decided to bust into my Scentsy fall wax stash. I am waiting for my catalog from Lisa for the fall. I'm really excited to place my first fall Scentsy order, and I got into the mood with Fall Feelin', which I thought I didn't like. Turns out I actually do really like this. And then First Day of Fall. So these are both like pumpkin vibe type scents. This one here, I would say this is more of like a fresher pumpkin. It is sweet, but it smells a little bit more fresh to my nose. And it does have a touch of woodiness as well, but this fall feeling, I guess I would maybe put this in like the fresher pumpkin category as well. But I feel like this one warms up and smells not quite as fresh when you actually have it underneath the bulb, and the fragrance really develops and you get this beautiful kind of slightly maybe woody pumpkin type note. Touch of sweetness as well, but just beautiful. This is a great scent. And then in a couple more warmers, I'm almost done with Holly Jolly Cider, which I obviously bought at Christmas last year, but I actually like this as a fall fragrance. It's got a really nice like apple cinnamon base to it, but it also has the citrus note as well. It has like a really nice deep orange note in here. And a true, I would say, cider type note as well. It's really good. I'm actually hoping that I have like a backup. I think I might have one more of these. I would really like to enjoy some more of this throughout the fall. So fingers crossed I have another one. I'm gonna look on the way downstairs. So, but you guys, that is what I have for you this week. That is what I was burning, what I was melting, what I was crocking, what I was lamping. Again, please let me know what you were doing home fragrance wise in the comments down below. I appreciate you being here. Remember to check out the description box if you're curious about anything that I mentioned and you're wondering where to get it. Subscribe if you're new and give this video a thumbs up. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.